Ambassador Chen stood before the holographic display, her face illuminated by the soft blue glow of distant star systems. The message from the Galactic Council had arrived 3 hours ago, and its contents had sent shockwaves through Earth's United Defense Command. After 70 years of loyal service, after humanity had bled on 100 worlds defending Council territories, the verdict was final. Earth was to be quarantined, its hyperspace lanes blocked, its people isolated from the galactic community. The reason? Fear. The Zathari representative had made it clear in his transmission. Humanity was too aggressive, too unpredictable, too dangerous to remain integrated with civilized species. Never mind that human soldiers had saved the Zathari homeworld from the Void Swarm. Never mind the agricultural techniques Earth had shared freely, feeding billions across the galaxy. The Council had voted and the decision was unanimous. Admiral Kovac entered the observation deck, his weathered face grim. "The blockade fleets are taking position," he reported. 47 Council warships across all major hyperspace nodes. "They're not taking chances." Chen turned from the display. "Have they responded to our diplomatic protests?" "They've stopped answering our hails entirely." Kovac moved to stand beside her, gazing out at the Xing Kong. "The Council believes we'll accept this, that we'll retreat to our little corner of the galaxy and fade into obscurity." "They don't know us very well, do they?" Chen's voice carried an edge that made the Admiral glance at her sharply. "No," he agreed. "They really don't." The thing about humanity that the Galactic Council had never truly understood was this. Humans were patient when they chose to be, but they never forgot a betrayal. For 70 years, Earth had built its fleet not for conquest, but for defense. Human engineers had studied every ship design, every weapon system, every tactical doctrine the galaxy had to offer, and then, in typical human fashion, they had improved upon all of it. The Council species had mastered energy shields centuries ago, developing barriers that could withstand tremendous punishment. Human scientists had thanked them for the data, then promptly invented frequency cycling weapons that could slip through shield harmonics like a knife through water. The Kryn had perfected faster-than-light travel using exotic matter drives. Human physicists had nodded appreciatively, then developed quantum slipstream technology that was 30% more efficient and left no detectable signature. The Zathari themselves had created devastating plasma weapons. Human weaponeers had studied the designs carefully before creating mag-accelerated kinetic kill vehicles that traveled at relativistic speeds and couldn't be stopped by any known defense. On every Council world, in every starbase and military installation, the leaders believed their combined fleets were invincible. They had numbers, experience, and technology refined over millennia. What they didn't have was humanity's gift for creative destruction. The attack came exactly 72 hours after the blockade was established. The Council fleet at the Proxima hyperspace node detected nothing until it was too late. Human ships emerged from slipstream space inside the blockade perimeter, bypassing the carefully established picket lines entirely. The lead Council vessels barely had time to raise shields before the first kinetic strikes tore through their hulls. But the Council had numbers, and their commanders were experienced. They rallied quickly, surrounding the human vessels in a classic envelopment maneuver. Energy weapons blazed, plasma torpedoes streaked across the void, and for a moment, it seemed the tide would turn. Then the human ships did something no Council species had ever witnessed. They separated. Each vessel fractured into dozens of smaller craft, each one carrying its own weapons, its own power plant, its own AI-assisted targeting system. The carefully coordinated Council formation suddenly found itself facing not 20 ships, but 300 deadly autonomous units, each one executing maneuvers that would have killed any organic pilot. The Battle of Proxima lasted 47 minutes. When it ended, the hyperspace node was clear, and 47 Council ships were either destroyed or drifting, their crews evacuating in escape pods. The human fleet reformed, suffering only minor damage, and moved to the next node. Across the galaxy, the pattern repeated. At Kepler Station, at the Andromeda Gate, at the Cygnus Hub, Council fleets met the same fate. Humanity's war fleet moved like a scalpel through the blockade, precise and devastating. Not a single Council crew member died in those first engagements. Human rescue teams ensuring all escape pods were recovered. But the message was clear. The blockade was broken and it would not be re-established. On the Council homeworld of Centralis, panic spread through the chambers of government. Emergency sessions were called. Military advisors who had assured the Council of their supremacy were dismissed in disgrace, and slowly, terribly, the truth began to dawn on them. Humanity had never needed the Council's permission to travel the stars. They had never needed the Council's protection or guidance. For 70 years, humans had played the role of junior partners because it suited them, because cooperation was preferable to conflict. But the moment that cooperation was withdrawn, the moment trust was betrayed, humanity had simply shrugged and revealed what they truly were. Not a client species, not a junior member requiring supervision, but equals who had chosen friendship over dominance until that choice was taken from them. Admiral Kovac stood on the bridge of the UDS Indomitable, watching the tactical display as the last blockade fleet retreated from the Orion node. Ambassador Chen's face appeared on his command screen. "The Council is requesting negotiations," she informed him. "They're prepared to lift the quarantine and restore Earth's full status." Kovac nodded slowly. "And our terms?" "Full voting rights on the Council, reparations for the attempted blockade, and a formal apology delivered to every human colony in Council space." Chen's expression was unreadable. "They've agreed to everything. Then I suppose we've made our point." Kovac gestured, and across the fleet, human ships began powering down their weapons. "Order all vessels to stand down, but keep them on alert." "You don't trust them," Chen observed. "I trust that they'll remember this," Kovac replied. "That's enough for now." The war that wasn't a war ended as quickly as it had begun. The Galactic Council learned a valuable lesson about humanity that day. Betraying those who offered friendship freely was a mistake they could afford to make only once. And across 1,000 human worlds, people looked up at the stars and smiled, knowing that when pushed, humanity had not bent. They had pushed back, and the galaxy would never see them the same way again.